Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to FOSA Spotlight. You're in the right place if you want to be inspired to be empowered. I am your host, Crystal Boyd. What a pleasure it is to be with you guys. Another micro episode. Without any hesitation, I'll jump right in. And today's topic is obtaining clarity. I like it already. Who doesn't like to be clear, right? I know I do. And the opposite of clarity would be confusion. Boo. I really mean that. Like, nobody likes to be unclear. It's not even beneficial. But I will start with, since we already know the definition, I'm not going to bog you guys down with that. But let's just think of some examples of clarity. Because there's several areas where a person could be unclear. We have personal life, right? You can be unclear about some things, needing some clarity. And for that part, I would say that is strongly connected to purpose. Honestly, when I tapped into purpose, boy, oh boy, did some things get real clear to me. And I never forget, it was one of my good friends that gave me the book Purpose Driven. And I was just bound to just know more about life. And she's talking about God. And I'm just like, okay, well, let me get into it. Because, of course, I'm going to church. I've gone to church, all of that. But just needing a little bit more. So I started reading the book. And it says in the first page or chapter, in essence, it says it's not about you. And I was like, excuse me? It's not about you. And it goes on to refer to a lot of biblical scriptures in the context. And, right then I was like, I'm not really big for reference material, especially if I haven't read the book that it's referring to. So for myself, I stopped right there, read the book, read the Bible for myself. Took me 2 years to get through the New Testament. It took me years to get through the Old Testament. And I mean, when I read, I really try to take it in. And it's not just because, if it's a regular book, you can read a regular book. That's nothing. But when you're reading the Bible, I would imagine you're reading it and trying to meditate on it at the same time. Trying to give enough, because there's so much in there, I just had to give it time. So nonetheless, took me those times. But in the end, and even through reading, I started having more clarity in my life. Issues that would come about, problems that would come up, really felt like it was easier. And matter of fact, not felt like it was easier for me to deal with. Because one, I knew I wasn't alone. I knew more about God. I knew his heart. So that gave me a new profound confidence that just is completely spiritual based. Not fleshly, I got complete humility, but it was a healthy set of confidence that came from having clarity personally. You develop that. Now, you can experience that in relationships. In relationships, I mean relating. You could have that with your family. You could have that with your friends. Maybe just a lack of clarity. So my advice to that situation is to communicate effectively. The more direct you are, the more specific, the more you can be understood. And if you've made it plain as day, and somebody just really doesn't comprehend, or they may not want to be on board with where you're coming from, it's just a lack of meeting of the minds, at least in your best efforts that you try to bring some clarity to whatever the situation or issue between you, family, friends, whomever. Workplace. We experience, sometimes you need to have some clarity in workplace. Okay, boss gives you them directions. What do you need to do? Yeah, it may be really, really short and simple. They may have given you a task that was just very short to the point, but you need a little bit more information. I honestly think asking questions are sometimes the best ones. And I just don't have any pride when it comes to asking questions. Could have just said, Crystal, take out the trash. And I'll be like, so you want me to take out this trash right here? Okay, it may not be that simple, but hey, if you didn't hear or you weren't clear about something, say for instance, you have a headache, you may not, don't feel free to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what it is that is desired from you, wanted from you out of your workplace. And that way, guess what? You work more efficiently, you work more productively, and that's just a win within itself. Now, I'm going to share with you something that I found. And I know this is based on creativity, but even if you didn't use this for a creative aspect, I think it's just good in general. So without any hesitation, I'm sharing. This is from Kent Sanders. 4 ways that clarity benefits your creative life. Shout out to Kent, because I loved this. To help with this, it says that he's referring to some things that can help give clarity. So the first question is, who am I? And I find it very difficult for people to say who they are when not talking about their career. Who are you? That's what you do for a living. I sure hope you know who you are. That's important. And if you can, write a mission statement behind it, a personal mission statement. A question of purpose. Why am I here? Who am I serving? What should I be doing? Those are good. That is so good. Yeah. I'm convinced that if you do that, you'll be flying real high. You answer those questions, you will be flying real high. And if you're already flying high, you're going to be flying higher. Hey, we elevate over here. And these are the benefits of clarity and the ways that it helps you in life. Clarity gives you energy. I can say that. How many times have we've experienced confusion, and then once we get the answer, we're like, oh my gosh, this is like a burst of enthusiasm that comes with it. And you're like, oh my goodness, I know what to do about this and that. And it's just, I completely agree with that. I was confused about just a new life and all these other things. And it wasn't all these other things. It was just direction of life, right? And I was just torn between maybe like 2 or 3 things. And I narrowed it down because I was like, I can't think like that. It cannot be all those options. It's got to be one option and you work with it. And boy, when I did that, I felt much better. So many reasons I felt much better. Clarity gives you direction. Kind of went into that just a bit ago. But I definitely know that without direction or clarity about direction, you feel like you're at a standstill. And that's what I felt like before. Before I had came to my decision, I just was like, well, what do I do? What do I do? You're almost paralyzed. And that confusion or that lack of knowing direction, it can throw you off. Like time and everything can pass you by. You don't want that. So the sooner you get clarity, the more you know what direction you need to take. And I'd throw a bonus tip out there. Leave the fear behind. It's easier said than done. But I can't help to say that when positivity is in the air or new beginnings or just good things, it could be some negativity opposing. And you gladly tell all that negativity that it can go somewhere. And you only entertain in your mental what you positively positively envision. And that's okay. You want to protect your thoughts, you want to protect your energy. Clarity gives you a plan. Man, oh my gosh, I don't believe in all that astrology, all that, but they say Virgos are some planners. And boy, do I be planning. I do, but it's a good thing. I think everybody is a planner by far, okay? And I think you should have a plan. And when you know how you're going to connect this with that, boy, that builds your confidence. And now you can see things. And now you can get resources together and you know how it's going to work. And I'm a fan of this. You won't be losing a lot of time when you actually have a plan. Because I've seen people just wandering. Okay? Not a direction or anything, a plan in sight. But you want to have a plan. It helps you to be productive because you're going to stay on the course. And last but not least, he has on this list is clarity gives you courage. Yeah. I support this because when I know what it is that I need to do, I can easily say no to the other stuff. Boom, it's really not even a fight. But when I know that something else is for me and I know that, I can easily say yes. It's no problem. And it's not a selfish thing to, say your yeses. Really no, because sometimes no is frowned upon. But I like being able to say no because, hey, you know your limits. You know your capacity. You take on too much, that'll definitely be too stressful, overwhelming. So the ability to say no and leave it there. The ability to say yes and know that even though it probably hasn't happened yet, or yes to a new job opportunity, yes to a new change in environment, city, state, school, guess what? The yes is the beginning. Have faith that where you're going you're already prepared. I hope this has been a beautiful episode. I know I enjoyed it. And you know what? I learned something from these things too. We're all learning. We're learning and we're inspiring one another. Hopefully you share this with somebody, inspire them, empower them. And you know what? Just walking it out. Sometimes people seeing you living your inspiration is empowering. So you do that. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure. Once again, thank you guys. If you haven't already, be sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and check us out on the website, www.fosa.company. And check us out, Apparel Accessories Podcast, and our YouTube channel. You'll be glad that you did. Until next time.